All right, I'm here with Mr. Fernando Carsa. Hello, Fernando. How are you today?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, and thanks for asking. How has your morning started? How has your day been so far?
I actually, for the first time in 2 weeks, today was the first day I was able to sleep in because I've been a little bit busy. So today was a very relaxing morning that just started with waking up really late and taking a shower, and now I'm here with you.
Oh, that's good to hear. And I think that usually when I hear someone is very busy, it means good news are on the horizon or have already been. Can you tell us what are you up to in these days?
Yeah, I mean, it is good news, which is good. But I'm excited because my first feature film At Midnight just came out on Paramount Plus this past Friday, the 10th. So we've been a little busy with the premiere for that, doing some promo for that as well. It was also just announced that the season 3 of my show on Apple TV Plus called Acapulco, it's happening. So yeah, we're just kind of like gearing up and getting ready for the third season and starting filming, but we've also been a little bit busy with the premiere of this film that I did. So yeah, just exciting stuff, but I can't wait to keep going and keep getting busier and busier by the minute.
You touched already different topics I'd like to address later in this interview. You mentioned At Midnight, you mentioned Acapulco. Let's start from At Midnight. The movie is already out on Paramount Plus. How it was your first long feature project? How did you land the role of Tachi?
I mean, it was a very common process of, sending a self-tape, then hearing back that the director wanted to meet with me to have a meeting and have me read some other scenes and stuff. So very, I guess, usual of a process. But if I'm being completely honest with you, when I first got the audition, Tachi felt so foreign to me, like so different for me. But it's because I think that I had never tapped into that side of myself. Tachi is a very sensual character, very confident, very unapologetic, and I was still at that time when I auditioned for the role tapping into that myself. So it was really cool to actually book the part because I think it helped me get out of my comfort zone that I had been for so long, that I needed to get out of in order to live my most authentic life.
Are you a shy person?
I'm not necessarily a shy person, but I'm not as um like an extrovert or outgoing as that specific character, So it I guess it helped me recognize, and it helped me acknowledge part of me that I just had never tapped into, um with my sexuality and my sensuality and just my confidence overall.
Did you watch anything in particular to prepare for Tachi?
um I'm a person that likes to listen to music to get ready for my character. So there was a lot of pop music in Spanish and reggaeton as well. I just feel like that would help me get in the more sensual zone that the character had to be in. And just a lot of music that was very about like self-love and self-confidence. So a lot of Lizzo too helped me to kind of like get in the zone. So every time I would step on set, before I would step on set, I would put on my headphones and just listen to these tracks that just kind of like help me lift up my chest a little more and kind of being a little unafraid of being a little cocky, I guess.
And did you listen to much Britney Spears? I know that you're a huge fan of Britney.
Yes, not for this specific character necessarily. No, I think I focus on other artists just because I knew that the character himself, I don't think he would be that much of a Britney Spears fan. So I just tried to connect to what the character would do more. However, on my day-to-day life, yes, I do listen to Britney Spears every day.
Tachi is the bartender. Listen, what is it about bartenders that makes people fall in love with them as soon as they are there, over there at the bar?
I think it's so interesting because I'm so not a drinker. So like I've never had an interaction with a bartender the way my character has had an interaction with other characters in the movie. But I do think that it's this, there's a connection that happens, you know, it's like it just feels so intimate. The setting is usually very intimate, it's one-on-one, you know what I mean? And I feel like just, you know, when you've had a few drinks also, that just opens up a little more doors and windows for conversation. But I really do think that it's just something about I do feel like, I mean, I have a lot of friends who do bartending and they do love making connections with people. So I think it's like they love it so much that they just love to talk to people and about their day and whatnot. And that's how, you know, a good intimate connection happens. And I mean, I do think that anyone that works in any sort of customer service job per se must have something to them that they enjoy making someone they feel better, you know? And I feel like that's a lot of bartenders. They just, they're, I do believe they're a blessing to this world.
That's true. And speaking of intimate connections, Tachi is also Alejandro's best friend, and Tachi sees the love story between Alejandro and Sophie from the first row. How was it to work with Monica Barbara and especially with Diego Boneta?
It was a dream come true. I mean, Monica has become such an iconic powerhouse in Hollywood at the time. So it was really exciting to know that she had just finished Top Gun Maverick and that I was going to have the chance to work with her. We didn't have any scenes together, but one, and we never interacted in our scenes, you know, but I was on set with her a few times. And of course, we also got to hang out outside, and she's the sweetest. She's so professional and she's so amazing. And then with Diego, it was also very special because I've been a fan of his since I was 4 years old.
Wow.
I've literally seen his career unfold right before my eyes. So when I was little and I was an aspiring actor and singer as well, you know, he's done everything I've always dreamed of doing. So he's someone that I've always looked up to. And I will say acting with him was a little intimidating just because of how much respect and admiration I have with him. I was often very starstruck on set. So I was, you know, like we say in the acting world, I had to fake it till I made it and pretend that I was fine. But in reality, I was freaking out a lot. And what was so cool about it is that Diego is also a producer in the film. And he truly is one of the sweetest, most respectful people that I've worked with. He and his sister, who are part of the production company, who is producing the film, they were incredible to me and they made me feel part of their family. And it was just a beautiful experience. And just to know that one of your heroes is actually this beautiful person also behind the camera, it was really, just really beautiful to see. And I don't know, this has been a highlight of my life, just to work with someone that I've always admired so much.
Tachi also falls in love with someone in the story. What can you tell us about his relationship with Chris and your personal relationship, you know, working relationship with Casey Thomas Brown?
Oh my God. It's so, I mean, that whole thing, that scene where we first start flirting with each other, that's the scene that made me the most nervous because I'm so not like that. Like, I'm never the first person to start the flirting conversations. That's never me. And I get really shy when people try to flirt with me. So I mean, I love that was written to the story. Just because, you know, as a plus size man who also happens to be gay, I feel like we don't get enough representation of people that look like me, who have and I'm talking about media, have success stories about finding love and being attractive. Like, we're always depicted as, you know, lonely people who nobody wants to date. You know what I'm saying? Like, the gay representation sometimes in media is very cookie cutter. Like, you have to look this way, you have to, you know. So it was really special to have a narrative of two people from two different countries, with two very different body sizes, actually being able to have this connection. I don't think we get to see that in media a lot. It's always about hunks and really people with a lot of muscles, I feel like, or really small people. So I was excited about that. And then working with Casey, he is hilarious. So sometimes on set, it was hard not to break, because what a lot of people don't know is a lot of the scenes were improv. And Casey is incredible at improv. Like sometimes it was hard to keep up. And he's also been in the industry for longer. I've only been in the industry for 2 years. So there was a lot of pressure to try to keep up with him personally. But he's the sweetest, and he's such a giver when it comes to acting, that like it makes the acting and reacting aspect of our job very easy. So it was also a pleasure to work with him.
The movie at midnight also does a sort of parody of superhero movies. I would like to ask you, where do you stand on superhero genre?
This is what I believe. I believe that our industry has the beautiful honor of bringing joy to people and making people happy. And for some people, that's superhero movies, you know. And I think that as entertainers, of course, we want to create art, and of course, we want to create something of value. And I'm not saying that superhero movies aren't that, because they definitely are in their own way. And I feel like there's a lot of criticism just because of the approach. But at the end of the day, as an entertainer myself, I believe that the whole purpose of what we do is to bring joy and happiness to people. And most movies allow for that and allow us to have that opportunity. So I think they're awesome, because they're comforting for a lot of people. I'm personally not a superhero person, but it's really lovely to see how the Marvel universe or the DC universe brings so much joy to so many of my friends who are part of that group of people who enjoy watching them. So yeah, I think superhero movies are as important as any Oscar-winning film.
When I asked you before, what you watched, whether you watched anything in particular to prepare for Tachi, I was actually hoping to hear that you watched yourself in Acapulco, since Mimo kind of, he happens to work at a hotel in Mexico, and his best friend is over there too. A few days ago, Apple TV Plus renewed the show for a third season. Were you happy about that news?
I'm so excited. I'm really, really happy. I think, we finished the first season and we were incredibly proud and happy. And then when we did the second one, we were even prouder and happier, just because of what our writers and Apple did with the show and where it took it. And I think it's just gaining a lot of more, it's just getting involved in more important conversations. And it's becoming about, I feel like the show is becoming a show that heals people and helps people escape the troubles of real life. And the second season ended with a lot of like question marks and things that needed to be resolved. That, like, of course, we want to know what happens next, but mostly, I think the entire cast and the entire production team were just excited to keep creating a show that brings this comfort and this love and healing to audiences. I feel like it's something that we need so much right now. And I think it's beautiful that we're doing it while combining two different cultures and languages as well. So I'm really excited. I genuinely don't know what's going to happen. I haven't heard anything. I have my first costume fitting tomorrow, and that's the only thing I know. But I'm really, really excited. And I know that our writers are creating something very, very special.
Is there anything at all you hope to see for Memo in season 3?
I think it would be interesting to I think I would like to see Memo kind of like mess up a little more. I don't know, like I feel like it would be interesting to now see the other side of the coin. Now maybe if Maximo and Memo kind of like switch roles a little bit, and because Memo has to go through some issues now Maximo's the one cheering him up. I feel like that would be an interesting thing to see. And I feel like as an actor who in that specific show is constantly and mostly doing comedy, it would be a nice challenge just to try to find that more vulnerable side of my character.
And in addition to Acapulco season 3, are there any upcoming projects you're involved in currently?
No, right now I'm booked until June. So for the next 4 months, I got work that I need to finish, and then we'll see after that. Usually turnarounds when you get booked for shows are relatively quickly. So right now, because we have to film until June, we gotta focus on that, and then while we're filming, like around May or the beginning of June, that's when I'm gonna jump back into auditioning to see what would happen later in the year.
Well, fingers crossed. I'm glad to hear that your schedule looks pretty busy. Again, usually it means good business good things for everyone. Fernando, thank you very much for giving us a little bit of your time today. Do you have any last messages?
Yeah, everyone, please go watch At Midnight on Paramount Plus and get ready, because season 3 of Acapulco is coming soon, and we can't wait to share it with you, and hopefully our art is making you very, very happy. And happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you again. Best of luck with all your projects, and hopefully I will hear again from you in the future, man.
Thank you.
Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye.